What the heck is going on with real estate? That's a great question. And this week I want to cover what's happening in the market, what's happening in the rental market, what's happening with the revised immigration numbers for Canada, and most importantly, and very interestingly this week, what you should do about it. Hey friends, I'm Paul Haley, Toronto realtor, investor, educator, and speaker, and I want to help you learn how to invest in real estate. So TRREB just released the October numbers, so we're comparing October 2019 to this October. Sales were up a little over 25%, prices were up almost 14%, and the home price index, which measures like to like, was up almost 11%. So there were many dire predictions about the real estate market, and supposedly we were going to have a correction right about now. I think those pundits forgot the lessons of what happened in the U.S. A little over 10 years ago. And basically that lesson is, when governments react and when governments issue lots of currency to help situations like we've been through, real estate prices and asset prices, stocks, bonds, real estate, have been going up across the globe. And until we see massive economic growth, we're probably not going to see a big increase or any really increase in interest rates. Probably the worst case situation is we could have some inflation and no growth, and they call that stagflation. Now, typically this time of year, we see a big slowdown in the market. So the number of sales actually goes down quite a bit this time of year, as both sellers and buyers are, distracted by the holidays. So, the weather gets colder. They're looking forward to the holidays, and, the whole market slows down. Will we see that? Probably. It feels like it's slowed a little bit, but I don't know. So this is actually a tale of two markets, condos and freeholds. And so we've actually seen the new listings for condos almost double, where we've only seen sales increase by 2.2%. And it's actually down in the 416, 8.5%, so negative 8.5%. Whereas, detached houses are up 34% sales-wise. And the prices for condos is up only 0.7% average across the GTA. So condos are still selling, of course. The market hasn't, fallen through the floor. But, there is a glut of supply of condos. And really that's due to three main factors. The first is lots of new supply came online as new buildings came online. The second is the Airbnb market is, pretty much gone to zero. So a lot of those listings first went to rentals and now they're getting sold. And the third reason is investors are looking to sell condos as the rental market. There's a glut of supply now in the rental market as well. And, part of the thought for this as well is that folks are moving out of the core as they no longer have to be at their jobs each and every day. And they don't want to live, in a tiny shoebox with amenities that are closed. So, those folks are looking for moving out or moving up north or what have you. So that leads us to the rental market. Now the rental market, the actual number of leases is up 30%, which is actually a pretty good number. That's a significant market. But supply is up a staggering 114%. So there's a massive glut in supply of rentals right now, and that has led to prices coming down on average for a one-bedroom condo 11% up to Q3. Now I've experienced this as a landlord. Some of our tenants has moved out and we've been renting our units, and units that normally rent in 24 hours because they're steps from the subway are taking weeks, and we have to talk about creative pricing, some interesting stuff which we'll talk about in a moment. So while some folks are still waiting on the sidelines to see, what happens with the 700 plus mortgage deferrals, and listen, nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody can tell you what's going to happen. But so far, that doesn't seem to have as big an impact as anyone had thought. Certainly the market is interesting, but it hasn't really, corrected as folks had predicted. And when immigration comes back, certainly we'll see the rental market surge and the condo market surge. And that leads us to the third really interesting thing, is the government of Canada has changed the forecast for immigration. So now 2020 has been adjusted down to 200,000 for the whole of Canada, but 2021 has been adjusted from 350,000 to 400,000, and over the next 3 years, we're going to see more than 1.2 million people immigrate to this country, and Toronto sees almost half of that immigration. So as you can imagine, there's going to be, more demand on housing, certainly in 2021 and beyond. So that creates an interesting opportunity. So what should you do? That's a great question, and that's actually the point of this video. So if you're looking to buy a home, now is a great time to buy. Interest rates have never been lower and probably won't get any lower. They could go up, but probably not. And you'll be in great shape in 3 to 5 years when you go to refinance or sell or whatever you're going to do. If you're looking to buy a condo to live in, there has probably been no other time better to buy a condo in the city of Toronto. There are lots of them. It's a great time to buy them. You can get conditions, you can get below asking. It is a great time to buy a condo. Have I said that part? If you're looking to sell freehold, now is a great time. It's probably going to continue to be a great time, but I don't actually know. And just in terms of timing, either we should look at selling freehold right now or push that off to January when the buyers come back to the market. If you're looking to sell a condo, listen, if you don't have to sell your condo, don't. It's not a great time to sell a condo. If you do have to sell a condo, then let's talk. We have lots of creative options. 2 things we've recently done. One is we've put a pop-up gallery in a condo, a pop-up art gallery to help that property stand out from all the other 20 listings in the building. Or we've sold it privately for our clients. So we've, reached out to our investor database to say, hey, we have this property. We can get it to you below market, and then it's a win-win because somebody saves a little bit on commission. So that's also an opportunity for you. So if you're an investor, now is actually a very interesting time, but you're going to have to tread carefully. And let me break that down. So if you're looking to buy a rental property and it's vacant and it's ready to go, ready to rent, you're going to have to tread carefully because the rents you're going to get right now are slightly below market rents. Like we said, 11%, maybe lower, depending on how quickly you need to rent it. And then when the market comes back, the rents have been frozen, and normally you're only allowed to increase them a certain percentage with CPI every year, Consumer Price Index. So you're not going to be able to quickly raise rents. Should also note that tenanted properties are actually a bit harder to sell. Unless you're having amazing above market rents. But typically you'll have below market rents, and it's also just harder to show. You have tenants there that cancel showings. So it's a bit more complicated to sell a property if you have tenants, just so you know. But then, if you don't get tenants for your property, your cash flow is going to be zero, right? So what do? It's a complex situation. Especially if you already own a property and your tenants have left, what do you do? Well, what a lot of people are doing, and what we've actually done, is we've offered incentives for people to sign up. So like first month free, so their net rent for the year is actually a bit lower, but a year, after that, we don't have these low rents that we're going to have to try and raise at some point or figure out some creative strategy. So we're not stuck with low rents, but we're passing the benefit on to the tenant right now. And if you're looking to buy and develop, this is actually a great time to buy and develop because you can buy a property, and by the time you do the development and have it ready for tenants, then hopefully immigration will be back and rents will be up, market rents will be up. There'll be not so much supply in the market, and it'll be a great time to rent your property. The only caveat is there actually is a bit of a shorting of building supplies. The price of lumber has gone up. People are saying there's a shortage of appliances, or you just have to wait a long time. So that's something else to consider. There's no perfect answer. So I hope you found that hugely helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. Please like this video and please smash that subscribe button so you get updated with new content that I post every single week. Lots of great content on its way. And if you have any questions about real estate, investing, buying and selling, if you want to look for creative options for any of those things, please shoot me an email, paul@paulhaley.ca. Talk soon. So what should you do? That is a great question. That's probably... So what should you do? That's a great question, and it's an interesting time, but you're gonna have to tread carefully. There's a bug flying around me. Stop it!